By the way, it is a Football Friday brought to you by First 5 California. To learn 4 things you can do to overcome toxic stress, go to first5california.com. I'll play the sound real quick. Sean King was on the station earlier this week, and he had this to say about the San Francisco 49ers.
The only negative I see on San Francisco is I feel like they have to win it this year. They can't afford everybody. Obviously, you're only getting away with this because you don't have to pay the quarterback. But Ayuk's going to look for a deal. I'm sure Purdy's going to want to get paid. So they got some guys that are going to have to command some big numbers coming up. They may have to make some moves. So this team, as we know it, with Debo and Trent Williams and Bosa and, all those guys, I think this is the year they have to win it.
That was almost Steiny and Goo earlier this week. Of course, Sean King won the Super Bowl with the Tampa Bay Bucks. Tulane. Do you buy or sell? Buy or sell the Niners? They have to win it this year. Are you buying that or are you selling that?
For the fans, I'm buying it. For the players, I am not. I'm selling that. And I think that their salary cap situation has been over-exaggerated.
I do, too.
It feels like they've managed it pretty darn well. Mm-hmm. Pretty darn well. And they get out of some dead cap money from some prior players who have not been on the roster for multiple seasons. After this year, I think they have much more wiggle room. I mean, New Orleans year after year is like $50 million over the salary cap, and right. Somehow they're always a player in free agency. So I think the Niners are fine. In fact, I think their window is about a 2-year window.
Yeah,
if we're going to say anything.
Yeah, I'm selling what Sean King is saying here. I think they do have a 2-year window, and I do believe they're going to be able to keep a lot of these players here, especially Brandon Ayuk. The Niners have proven to you, Jed York, Parag, John Lynch. If they want you, they will keep you. They will find money for you, and they've done that with their premium players. Sterling Bennett, I'll bring you in, as well as Sam Lubman. You guys buying or selling what Sean King said about the Niners Super Bowl window? Is this it for them?
It being a 1-year window? No. This team is they have the best core in the NFL. Nick Bosa is now paid. Fred Warner is going to be on this team. George Kittle is still on the team. Brock Purdy doesn't have to get paid for 3 more seasons. Why would this team not be good in the next 2-3 years?
Well, plus, let me add to the Brock Purdy thing. If Brock is as good as we all think he is, and he could sustain this year, wouldn't we be talking about him the same way we're talking about the Burrows and the Allens, like those types of guys? Like, what right?
Why can't he get better this year? Why couldn't he be a top 10 quarterback and your window extends 5-7 years?
That's
now?
what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I agree with you.
I agree.
100%. Like, I am not eliminating that aspect. I want to see that thing play out. What about you, Sam?
No, I agree. I don't think this is they have to win this year. I think they got a legitimate 3-year window here where they could probably, the next 3 years, they definitely have to win at least once, but it doesn't have to be this year. But at the same time, in the NFL, if you have a quarterback, you have a window. And if the 49ers do come out of this year, even without a Super Bowl, but we know Brock is that guy, 3-year window, absolutely. But that window extends far beyond these next 3 years as long as we have faith that Brock is that guy. He's 24 years old. This could be a 10 to 15-year window. I might be getting ahead of myself here if he does hit. So, no, they definitely do not have to win this year, but it would be pretty nice if they did.
By the way, we got an update from Daryl Guru Johnson. He was balling with his son, Daryl Jr., at Santa Clara University. Went up high for a rebound. Landed on foot.
Is that from him?
That's from his Twitter account. He went up high for a rebound. Like he was I
got to look it up.
Buy or selling this one, fellas. Buy or sell. Carlos Ramirez, by the way, late addition to the show. He's going to join us in 7 minutes. Carlos Ramirez, of course, your host for 49ers pre and Giants pre and post game shows. NBC Sports Bay Area. Buy or selling? Brandon Ayuk, will he be a top 5 wide receiver in the NFL when the season is over? Buy or sell? Are you selling? Are you laughing?
I'm looking at Daryl the Guru Johnson's tweet. I'm sorry, I'm so distracted. I apologize. We'll get back into the Niners. He put the Paul Pierce gif of him getting guarded out in the wheelchair. It's just balling with son at Santa Clara. Went high for rebound. Landed on foot. I love how he already had spoken with a doctor and he's out. He's out. I'm ruling myself out for next week.
Wow. I think I know why.
This is gonna be a big deal around here
I
next
think
week.
I know why he's bailing.
I love Goop. I love Goop and Coop. You gotta understand.
I think I know why he's bailing.
This is why you don't sign up for these things,
Yeah,
man.
and you just got me involved. I was just trying to mind my business, enjoy a nice little Saturday.
The text line. He went up so high that piece of paper underneath his shoes got him. That's so mean.
Oh my gosh,
Goo. Oh, God. What you think he's got something else going on?
I do. I don't know if I can speak on it though. Brandon Ayuk will be a top 5 wide receiver in the NFL when the season's over. Buy or sell?
Ooh, I'm going to sell. And the reason why I'm going to sell that, not that I don't think he's good enough to be one of those guys. It just feels like there are other teams that are dedicated to throwing the ball that are going to have more opportunities to showcase who they are. Like, but if I said he caught 95 passes, wouldn't that surprise you?
It would. In this offense,
Right.
absolutely.
Right. And especially if they're winning games
Right.
and they're running the ball late. Like, Justin Jefferson, if they're playing in games like they are last night, he's going to have 125 catches.
He already has more career receiving yards than any receiver in the history of the Chicago Bears.
Wait, Justin Jefferson,
Justin
wide receiver who's
wide
24.
receiver who's 24 years old, has more career receiving yards than anyone in the history of the Chicago Bears franchise.
I don't believe that.
It's unbelievable, right?
I don't believe that. There's no way. The Bears that have been around for like 100 years.
Yeah, no doubt. And I'm selling on Ayuk being top 5 because of the stats and whatnot. He has top 5 potential, but there's some studs at the wide receiver spot. Sterling, love to jump in real quick before the break, if you guys want to. No,
I can't believe that stat.
Well, I was going to ask, is that receivers that have played for the Bears, or is those stats for receivers that have
In a Bears uniform.
Right. Like Brandon Marshall has 12,000 yards receiving.
Right. So it must be
Yeah, but he played
players.
on 1,000 teams.
So it's got to
Yeah.
be players who were drafted by the Bears or like career receiving leaders for the Chicago
yeah, for
Bears.
the
in a
Chicago
Bears
Bears.
Yeah,
uniform.
it's
Right.
career receiving yards
Right.
while you were in a Bears uniform.
That's crazy. By the way, Angelica said something yesterday that I want to bring to the table. And I was like, is this the first ever matchup? I think we forgot to bring it up when she was on. Angelique Bacaro, who joined us at 648, coaches SI girls basketball team and, of course, their flag football team. They got a big win Wednesday night at SI. She said, is this the first ever matchup between the first overall pick of the NFL draft, who Matt Stafford was out of Georgia, and the last pick of the NFL draft?
I can't
in
think
Brock
of
Purdy.
one.
And I was like, wow.
I mean, how many Mr. Irrelevant picks have there been?
Exactly.
I know there's been a lot of number 1 overall quarterbacks. I don't know.
Mr. Relevant never makes it past training camp.
Is Elias Bureau still a thing?
Yeah, it's still big. But she dropped out. I was like,
great
wow.
point.
First ever matchup between a number 1 overall pick
Great point.
and the last pick of the NFL draft. It's kind of wild. All right.
No, that's incredible.
Carlos